In this quick tutorial, I will show the main poses, the timing and the spacing to animate a character throwing an object. The tutorial is linked to the lesson 8, Anticipation. I will use Ink, the official rig of my channel. Ink has a very simple design to better focus on the poses and animation, and has this flat monochromatic texture with shoulders, chest and deep lines to help you to create nice and appealing poses for him. Let's create the object he will throw away, a simple ball. We go to create the control for the ball and we parent the mesh to it. I set the camera with the character on the side and I create a plane to check feet position and compenetration. We set the first pose. You can do the pose you want. In my pose, he holds the ball with both the hands. He's quite relaxed. The shoulders are rotated downward. The head is a bit rotated downward as well, like he's watching to the object. And the feet are pretty spread. The weight of the character is more on the left foot. Let's adjust the fingers position to avoid compenetration and be sure that the hands are really holding the ball. So keep attention to pose each finger in a good and natural pose. Now add a constraint for the ball. I select the right hand control, then the ball control, and I create a translation and rotation constraint. Let's create the anticipation made pose around frame 28. The timing I'm using is just indicative to give you an idea of the distance between a key pose and another, but you can do it with your own timing. So for the anticipation, he will move backward with the entire body, stretching the chest, and he also moves back the right foot to balance the weight. I raise the heel of the foot because he's really stretched in this pose, so he needs to stand on his toes. Now just one hand holds the ball, the right one, and I move it pretty backward. It's not completely straight, it's a bit bended. Try to simulate this movement yourself. You will see that the more natural pose is keeping the hand faces toward the area where you will throw the object, and you will naturally move upward to your shoulder. The left hand started to move forward and it's bended towards the body. This pose helps to maintain the balance and gain more energy. Now let's move forward in timeline for the extreme throw pose around frame 42. Now the body is rotated forward. All the weight of the character is on the left foot, but the right foot in the air helps him to balance the weight and contrast the power of the throw that moved him forward. Create a nice and relaxed pose for the right foot, with the toes pointing down. The right hand is now straight and stretched in front of the character. The left arm moved backward and at this point it's still bended. The head is rotated upward, contrasting the rotation of the chest because the character is following the ball movement. Let's add another little anticipation at the beginning of the shot around frame 8 with a very small movement upward with the hip and the hands just before the big backward movement. Practically, we go to create an anticipation of another anticipation. Now we add an important breakdown around frame 15 when he starts to move backward. Here we need to slow down the spacing between the pose at frame 8 and the pose at frame 28. The body starts to move down and backward. Now the left hand is not touching the ball anymore, but it's still pretty close to it. The chest is squashed and rotated forward, and the right foot started to slide on the back. I keep it flat on the ground. I just overlap a bit the toes that moves offsetted by one frame. Now let's add another important key to slow down before the pose at frame 28. We need to keep this pose longer, so let's add an in-between approximately 5-6 frames before the pose at frame 28. And we slow down the spacing so in this new in-between, frame 22, the body is already stretched and ready for the throw. The big movement and change in position is between frame 15 and frame 22. We now slow down again just after the pose at 28. We add an in-between at frame 34, where he just starts to move forward. Very small changes. He moves a bit up and forward with the body, and on frame 39 he continues the movement upward and forward, but the chest is still rotated backward. We also bend backward the right arm so that the hand with the ball doesn't move too much, and maintain a position close to the position at frame 28. The right foot starts to move upward in the air, and the hip in this transition moves a bit upward, creating this path. Use the formers for the arms and create a very dynamic pose. Now we add two poses at the end for the saddle. On frame 46, the body continues to move and rotate forward. The right hand goes down, the left hand continues the movement upward, and the same for the right foot. On the last frame, the body starts to go back, the right foot starts to go down and forward, and we have a follow-through of a head, forearms, and wrist. Now that we have all the poses, we can switch the curves in Stepper to see the result. The ball is still attached to the hand, but let's ignore it for the moment. We will animate the ball in a second time. Okay, we can proceed with Refine now. We change again the curves in Auto Tangents, and let's polish the path of arms and right foot. We start with the right arm. If you create a motion tree, you will see that the path of action of the arm movement is not so nice. We can do better than this, so we go to add some poses for the arms in order to create a nicer path. And this is the final path of action for my right arm. Continue to polish your curves, and when the body is done, we can move to the ball. When you are on this pose, frame 41 for me, add the key on the ball control and it will create a blend parent attribute. Set it to 0 and add the key. Move on to frame before, add the key on this attribute again and set it at 1. Now the constraint is active up to frame 40. After that, you can animate the ball. Directly on this frame, we move it forward following a linear path. The ball must be pretty distant from the hand on this pose with a very fast spacing, and we can add a stretch on it. It goes out of the screen in very few frames, 2 or 3 frames, maintaining the stretch. That's it. This is my final result. Now if you want to recreate this throw animation, you can do the exercise full, following the steps of this tutorial and send me your animation to receive feedback.